Good evening. This is the No Restrictions Radio.
That hurt my ear.
I hope we stop that one day. Anyway, good evening. Glad to see you all again, finally. Tonight we're joined by...
Yo, mama.
Chris O's in the building. And...
Bro. It wasn't even that funny. Alright, Calm's here.
Don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. Gotcha.
Okay, so anyway, tonight we're joined by Chris O, Kong, and the elusive Doug Judy. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we've all been together.
Yeah, well, why wasn't Doug Judy with us last time?
Well, okay, so apparently he had a marathon and a charity to go to in the same night.
No.
Okay.
The marathon was one night.
Yeah,
and then he made it sound like he's going to some
half
fancy
marathon.
gala, and then it turned out it was just date night with his wife.
Yeah.
The gala was the night before the marathon. The gala had nothing to do with this. Yes, I took my wife on a date, and I forgot about the date of it that we were going to have the podcast, so that's on me. I apologize.
Priorities, man. Just dump your wife.
No, he needs
Yeah, that
that
sounds like
tax
some
benefit.
solid advice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I've been divorced 7 times.
Alright. Well, glad to have you all back again. Alright,
And
so...
who are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm Solomon. Yeah, I don't say much, yeah, but yeah, I'm your host, Solomon, for this evening and all evenings.
King's wisdom.
Eh, kind of. I'm not that wise. Anyway, so, let's get to it. Our boy, Dwight Howard.
No.
Chris, what's up?
So, I just...
Oh my God, dude! What is
What's
wrong
up?
with you today,
Stay
man?
with it. Stay with it.
No. Check
Stay
this
with
out,
it.
bro.
Come on.
Look.
I know it's a sensitive topic, but come on.
Dwight Howard, man. Now this is the thing. Before we even go deep into it, y'all know it is a small chance that this could be fabricated, right?
I didn't know that. I thought it was...
Oh, I've heard that the accuser has been accused of doing the same thing to like other
Over and over and over
celebrities,
again.
yeah.
And the reason why I want to say that is because side note, see my mans that did the Let's Try to Get Travis Scott Caught Up challenge. It's
What
a
is
guy.
that? I don't even know what that is.
Well, okay, it's not an actual challenge. Basically, a dude did a social experiment where he took a picture with like this thick Instagram girl, and he did everything to make himself look like Travis Scott, and then let it go out to the internet. So then the internet is in a frenzy, thinking that Travis Scott is cheating on Kylie.
And that's the same guy who did the Justin Bieber thing.
Right.
Oh,
So just think, if people will go out of their way to kind of do that, and he said that was a finger quote, air quote, just a way to show the internet that people believe whatever they see on the internet. I just want to give Dwight Howard the benefit of the doubt and say,
Sure.
hopefully he's not messing with trannies, because I mean, if he is, then that's really sad. You know what I'm saying? He getting obliterated on social media, and then on top of that, his injury is just the worst injury to have. While these rumors are going around, he got a butt injury. So it's like he
gluteal injury.
tear. Yeah, something like that.
Gluteal injury.
Okay, gluteal injury.
Really? I
Whatever.
didn't know he was injured.
I didn't even know that either.
That is, and
I
that's
think
really
that's what's added to the whole
right. It's like
hysteria behind it.
so. I mean, dog. It's like you got people's real lives on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like he getting it's millions of people that's trolling him so bad that he turned his comments off on IG.
Yeah.
Like just imagine how bad that is if you go to sleep and wake up every day and
Well, I have no sympathy for him.
okay.
Spoken like a true Lakers fan, my man.
Oh, okay. We got a bitter Laker fan here. We got two of them.
No,
huh?
I don't know. I didn't know that piece about possibly being fabricated. It makes sense though that someone could do that. I mean, if it is true and he's oriented that way, it's so tough for those guys because could you imagine like how in the locker room they must feel? I mean, just it's kind of odd. I always thought about that with that one the one player who ended up coming out towards the very end of his career. Now he's a coach with the Spurs, or not the Spurs, Golden State Warriors. He's one of the assistant coaches.
Oh.
Remind me of the name?
Oh,
He used
I
to
know
play with
you're
the
talking
Nets. You all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason
But-
Collins.
Yeah. I think so.
Actually,
big guy.
that's his twin
No,
brother.
that is not.
Because
I
there's
think
two of them.
There's two Collins brothers. So.
Yes, the
Oh,
twin
really?
is the one that's the assistant coach, but I know who you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's hard to keep the two. All right. Yeah.
But they look the same, so yeah.
Exactly. All right. So fair game. Don't give me too much crap, America.
All right.
But anyway, I mean, if something like comes out and that's true, and he still plans to play for more years, that's going to make it very uncomfortable for him and probably the other players. It's a sad situation. I mean, I get why he would hide. Why he'd probably hide something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I think, when the atmosphere that he's at, playing the NBA,
Yeah.
it can feel like your masculinity is being challenged
And who were the
or
people?
scrutinized.
Didn't Lance Stevenson or not Lance Stevenson?
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson and I'm not doing good with names today. Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes.
Yeah.
They were talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What did they say?
And they were saying that he liked to play a whole bunch of games that didn't need to be played in the locker room, and they both played with him. So I don't know.
Really? That's what they said, huh?
Yeah, they got on live and talked about it. Matt Barnes is like, yo, it'd be stuff. It's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, is it time for play? But there's certain things. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, we're not playing grab the glutes in the locker room. Like he said, and Dwight would be on that. So I mean, who knows, man? It's just sad, man. Because if that's his personal life, it's getting blasted. And just imagine the trash talk when you're on the court. How can you focus if people talking trash to you about your real life?
He couldn't focus for the past 3 years. What
true.
difference is gonna make?
This is true. I'm just, hey.
No.
You know what? I think if he actually accepted it as fact and came out as, I guess, gay, I think people leave him alone because now he actually does lean towards that way, and you can't scrutinize a guy like that. Does that make sense?
I can scrutinize whoever I want to scrutinize.
No, but I'm just saying no. But he actually has the defense of the public, oh, this guy actually does lean that way.
Right.
His lifestyle is in that direction.
Well, I think
so you can't
I think with
criticize
how
him or
politically
mock him.
correct everything is now, if
that's what I'm
he
getting
were
at.
to come out,
if he actually was.
I think
yeah.
that community in
Will be come to his
general will
defense.
come to his defense. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I can see what you're saying.
And they would leave him alone. I think. That might be his better
I
option.
mean, I think the general public will leave him alone, but
Yeah.
what Doug Judy was saying,
Yeah.
in his career and his colleagues, his peers, that'd be a whole different story. Whatever's being said in the locker room.
I think unfortunately
literally.
it's already impacting him, and it will continue to impact him. Whether he
So it's
says it's true or if it's
irreversible
not.
at this point for him to reclaim his character prior to that, or
Well, I don't want to say that has anything to do with character. But
how he's perceived by his peers.
I think his peers already have that perception of him now that this is all coming
Because
out
there
there
were
in the
prior
light.
suspicions. As mentioned.
Yeah, or things. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
America,
we got
if you hear
mini Doug Judy screaming at the mic. So I think he's going to be affected already. At the end of the day.
There's nothing he can do at this point, and he's at the back end of his career, so it's not even. It's not even.
He is, yeah.
It's not even like dog can
The
really.
downhill of
Yeah,
his
he's
career.
the downhill.
The decline.
Right, the decline. It's nothing he could do, and this is no longer a big man being an actual big man league. It's a big man that can shoot league.
That's true. He's a terrible.
No, I think it's a big man league that doesn't know how to play a big man's role. If big men knew how to play a big man's role, it'd still have a quintessential role in the NBA. But you don't have
offensively.
Yeah, you don't have your classic defenders anymore.
Shaq was the last one, bro.
Embiid is coming up.
Well, okay, Embiid, but Embiid
he's
shoots
not like
threes though.
he's not like a classic big guy just stays in the paint.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back you
Yeah, he
down
is.
and go in.
He does that. He
but you don't
backs down a
have
lot.
players like that anymore.
He's not as dominant as Shaq.
Him and Hassan Whiteside. That's about it. Right?
Yeah.
And Hassan Whiteside is hit or
He
miss.
about to get traded.
Even if you look back like the last maybe 8 years, Andrew Bynum did the same thing until he became useless.
Yeah.
That's true.
Bynum.
Bynum could have had
He had potential.
He just wasted it with
It
that
just
haircut.
the haircut. I think he was out of shape.
Yeah.
The half braided,
yeah.
half
Yeah.
afro.
Remember he
Oh
was
my God.
walking around with the haircut like coconut head on Nez Declassified, bro. He said it was one year he played for Philly and sat the entire year.
Yeah.
Didn't play one game. They signed him to sit for $10 million.
Well, I mean, it's all of that. He was injury prone all the time too. But it's because like he would miss out on practice. He wouldn't keep his health up.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. The classic game of basketball for big men has changed, not because it doesn't have a role today. It's just people don't know how to play that role effectively.
I can see your point. Yeah, because there's a lot of big guys who just can't. I mean, shoot in general. I mean, there aren't a lot of 7-footers that can actually hit a free throw decently, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have your few players out there like Dirk Nowitzki, for example, but
he's a very rare hybrid beast.
Exactly.
He's very rare, yeah.
So I think what it is the game of basketball has progressed to a point where players like LeBron and Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, they can evolve their game to a point where it's making big men who can't play their role effectively useless.
What's crazy is Bynum ain't but 31. He's 31, bro.
Yeah.
Did he officially retire?
Yeah, he hasn't played since 2014, dude.
He's probably flipping burgers right now.
Probably. Well, I mean, he made a pretty good chunk of money throughout his career.
I mean,
yeah, that chunk of money can be wasted so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's the sad thing.
Yeah. Anyway, poor Dwight. I hope he rebounds pretty well. All right, so Laker Nation.
Yes.
They coming up?
Hey, that's
Yes. What are they? 15
Finally.
and 9 right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sitting on
They
almost
broke-
a 4th seed.
They were finally, a 500 team. I think a month ago, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you were right. I think you said it. It's just the chemistry there wasn't there initially.
Yeah.
But now everyone's kind of learning their roles, how to play with each other.
And I think it's good that he doesn't have superstars on the team, honestly. Because I think they can easily mold around him. Like, I think it works better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the whole Melo thing, right? Him possibly coming to Lakers. I think that's actually be a disservice to Lakers.
That can work.
I mean, anything can work if you execute it right.
LeBron can make that work.
I don't know about that.
I think he can make
I mean, LeBron.
No,
bro,
LeBron-
you see the Bums he dragged to the finals.
LeBron isn't the
No,
Jesus
ain't
of
no
basketball.
And that's what I'm trying to say. If he was able to make it work with some people that are
The team
now
that he
4 and
left?
12 or 4 and 20 or whatever. I
Oh
don't know.
man, his name is slipping. I can't remember his name. The guy who went the opposite way in the finals.
J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith.
I think that'll be the one thing
Is that how
he's
you gonna remember that guy?
Yeah, he's not gonna be remembered
His
for
name is
nothing
pretty
else.
easy, JR.
I remembered his name. It's just I wasn't able to recall it.
Right, okay.
But if he
Just at
can
that
make
moment.
something happen with JR, you don't think he can make something happen with Melo?
No,
Melo's
a washed up player.
He
Melo's a
still,
washed
he
up
still
player.
has that good offensive mind. He's just not hitting shots. So
Because
he's not a dummy.
because he didn't do anything to his body for the past 7-8 years of his career.
He can still be a spot-up shooter.
That's why because I remember last time we were talking about this. He's a great shooter. He wasn't the greatest shooter in Denver. Chauncey Billups was running, gave him his run for his money
For like 2 years.
for 2 years. But then
Before that, Melo was the best shooter.
yeah, and then where is he now?
Melo?
Yeah, where is he now?
I mean, yeah, of course he declined.
He
as
could be the
an
best
age.
shooter in the world. I mean, you have
not
the
saying
Golden
he's
State
the
Warriors
best.
and nothing but shooters.
I'm not saying that he's the best shooter now, but he can still play a big role in a team running for a title.
No, I think it would be a legitimate disservice to Lakers because now you're trying to incorporate a washed-up has-been into your team when you have a team right now that's synchronizing pretty well with one another. So I wouldn't mess that
Honestly,
chemistry up.
I think they can keep it great. They take Melo,
No,
and
I would bench Melo.
I would drop Rondo. They've been playing a lot better without him. Am I lying?
I wouldn't mind letting Rondo go.
Rondo can kick rocks.
I don't mind
Ever
that.
since he's been injured, it's
They can wave Rondo. They can wave.
the ball movement is so much more fluid. Lonzo's getting the minutes that he deserves. And he's actually proven himself pretty well.
You know who
especially
else
defensively.
can ball and is kind of getting a chance to show? Michael Beasley. You know that they wouldn't let him play at all for the first chunk of these last maybe 10 games, and then they let him out and he balls.
Yeah.
He
can get his own
He
shot.
can get his own shot too.
Easy.
He makes his own shot. He's 6'10", lanky, strong, quick, You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a bad defender in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
He just, I think because of the antics he done had outside of basketball, it takes away from his actual talent. So that's just one of the things that's real important. I feel like they have a lot of ball dominant people on the team that are forced to, minimize on certain things because LeBron is there. But if they start clicking and they can all tap into just themselves at a 75% and let LeBron just be his normal 100%, that's a solid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You throw Melo into that mix, it messes everything up.
But you don't know that though, because here's the thing. Not saying that Melo has not been on the decline for a hot second. He was willing to be humble and take a back seat when they said you got to come off the bench. And he was not trying to do it at first, but what did Melo do? Come off the bench.
Because he had no choice.
I'm not saying that he had no choice, because he could have fought it and got waived immediately. All I'm saying is if LeBron said, Melo, look, bro, you can come on this team, but you got to do this. If you
I don't see him doing it.
That's what. Now, if he don't do it, then, he loses the position. Yeah. But I feel like LeBron could demand.
No, I don't. I think even if he came, what's that going to do? Okay, a better player is telling you what to do. I mean, it's not going to change his mentality of the game. If he was so humble to the point where, like, you know what, you're right, I'm gonna come off the bench, I'm gonna play my support role, but then you don't do anything to perfect your craft from that point on, you have no say in the matter. So I think when he goes to the Lakers, if he does go to the Lakers, it would be a legitimate disservice to the nation.
Laker Nation.
The nation.
No, yeah.
The nation.
The entire country.
LA's America's team now.
Yeah.
Trump will be blowing up on Twitter about it.
Get Melo out of there.
Oh my god. So
That's cold.
with
All right,
Melo,
so how about the Warriors? That big little spat that happened between Draymond and KD.
it's still carrying over, bro. They're not the same team. If you look at them, they're not the same team.
I don't think they are. Yeah.
Why do you think that happened?
Honestly, because KD is pulling a dip syndrome, just like he did to Westbrook. And they see that, okay, if you left Westbrook, if something don't go the way that you feel like it could go, what does KD have to do at this point? He could leave and be okay with leaving. Because I got 2 rings. Some people don't get 1. So now I got 2. So I don't have to sit down and minimize on I could be the man and be the only man on the team now. And lose for the rest of my career because I got 2
Do you think
rings.
that's what it is? It's just, where does he go to?
Maybe the Knicks, maybe Washington. It's a lot of places KD could go.
What do we even know what that spat was all about that they had?
So from what I remember, it was in the game. Draymond grabbed a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
It was like very close to being in the game.
Said
The Warriors
pass.
were done, or what? The Warriors were down like about a bucket or 2. Actually, just one
No,
bucket.
it was tied, I think.
It was tied.
And it went to
It was-
overtime, yeah.
It was close. Draymond grabs the ball, the rebound. KD's like, give me the ball. I'm going to take the game-winning shot. Draymond completely ignored him. Dribbled the ball up court, tripped over the ball, turned it over, and the game went into overtime, and I think they lost eventually, right?
I don't know. I can't remember. No.
Okay. But anyway,
Honest.
KD was demanding for the ball because he wanted to take the last shot.
Yeah.
Draymond didn't give it to him. KD was giving Draymond heat for it after, because he's like, yeah, I would have taken the last shot. Why didn't you give me the last shot? And from what I understand, Draymond just went off on him.
Like, I won before you got here, bro.
Yeah, like we were
Don't
winning
talk to me
before
crazy.
you. Yeah, don't talk to me.
I don't know. If that's really the case, right? I don't think it's dip syndrome.
No,
I think if anything, Draymond Green feels threatened with KD's presence in the team.
No, check this out. It's
No,
because
'cause-
KD hasn't committed. He didn't sign a long-term deal.
But that doesn't make sense. If KD is saying, "Give me the ball so I can make the game-winning shot," Draymond Green ignores him and then ends up losing the game. That's Draymond's fault. I can see why KD got upset.
Yeah.
So
From what I understood from like other people discussing it, I believe this is like Draymond's last year in the contract, and he's not guaranteed to be back with the team next year or the year after.
Dude, that would be so
And
weird
somebody-
to see
they
him
had-
go somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think he'd fit anywhere really.
Lakers will always welcome him.
Oh,
I
okay.
welcome him. I
Draymond
like
Green.
Draymond Green.
Oh, come on. You're
Defensively, he's amazing.
Yeah, I like Draymond Green.
gonna pick Draymond over Tyson Chandler or what's the other guy?
Tyson Chandler.
Over Tyson, of all the names you come up
you
with.
said the Lakers though. He plays center.
Yeah, I know
there's
that.
2 other centers out on the team already
Oh,
that I would
JaVale
pick.
McGee.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't. If
Put him
that were
at
the
center.
case, I wouldn't put him as a center. I'd
I
put him
know.
as a
Why?
power
That's what
forward.
I'm saying. He's 6'8". He doesn't have.
But you know what?
no, but he plays center though.
But he can
That's because
pivot.
he's on the Warriors.
But he can pivot from role to role.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Draymond
gonna put him out as like a shooting guard, obviously, but I'm gonna put him
Like
something similar, like a power
forward or
forward.
something. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
revive
Draymond?
the 2 big men
Yes.
in the paint.
Dude,
about
dude,
that.
JaVale McGee was on the Warriors, bro.
Yeah.
As a 5. What's your point?
Oh my god.
He didn't start over Draymond.
Okay, fine. He's center, and the other guy can be power forward.
Yeah, JaVale McGee.
Y'all ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Andrew Bynum and Paul Gasol interchange roles, really, essentially.
They're both 7 feet. It's fine.
But that's what I'm saying. He can play that role if he really wanted
A
to.
6'6" power forward
Why not?
in the NBA now? Come on.
We
Charles
just
Barkley.
we
What about
just
Charles
had a
Barkley?
debate about how the big man role is done. So why would it matter anyway?
Height's just a number, Nick. Solomon. Sorry.
Moving.
Anyway, I hate basketball. Chargers. So Doug Judy.
Yeah.
How's your
No, I just want to throw this in there.
LA Chargers? doing?
LA Chargers are 9-3. Very happy about it.
Are they really?
Yes, they're
Is that
9-3.
real?
That is real.
That's not your Madden team.
I couldn't even believe it when they just beat Pittsburgh this past week. It was amazing.
That
That was
doesn't mean-
that was a great game, by the way.
That don't mean anything.
It kind of does. They're both in the wild card hunt, so we'll see how the season plays out. I'm looking forward to the games they got coming up in conference. Anyway, I always got to give a shout out to my team. That's it.
The LA Chargers.
The LA Chargers.
How long is their lease there? Like another year before they go back to who
I don't
knows?
know.
Tempe,
The
Arizona.
Lakers will take him.
No, no, I think they're building a new stadium. They were showing the.
Oh yeah, they are.
They were
Inglewood, I think, or
I don't know exactly where, but they
Carson?
were showing the layout of it on the game the other night. It looks really nice. It was a Sunday night game. It was a nighttime game. It was good.
interesting.
Well, you know what, man? I just want to say, Phillip Rivers? That's the quarterback, right?
Yep.
His outfit choice is typically very interesting. If he always in boots,
Dressed like a
and
cowboy?
and a necktie. Yeah, I just wanted to shout that out and give him
That's a
some love.
fact. Yeah.
But I mean, if we gonna shout out teams real quick, I just got to make sure I shout out to the Detroit Lions, even though we keep losing. Y'all keep rocking.
They're still a football team?
Yeah, you guys know Philip Rivers has like 12 kids.
Oh,
He's like
really?
12 kids.
Whoa.
With him and his wife. Yeah.
One wife.
One wife. Yeah.
12
Like close to that amount. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
At least close
That
to
is-
10 for sure.
Is he Mormon?
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't. Well, I don't know. He could be, but he has a lot of kids, man. It's crazy.
Wow.
Interesting.
Interesting. Cool.
The oldest one's 16, and then they're just all. He just had a brand new baby.
So you're
guy
trying to
doesn't
start
stop.
a whole football team. That's
I think he's brought about.
That's
yeah.
a whole roster right
Yeah,
there.
he's got a whole
on
roster with
offense.
Dude, that's hashtag squad goals right there.
Squad.
Just run with the squad.
No.
What kind of car do you buy for that type of thing? Just like an RV everywhere.
At least a limo.
I just want to tell you, Detroit's record right now is an impressive 4-8.
The Lions?
Yeah. Shout out to the Lions.
They won half of the games they lost.
How you Pistons doing? I see Blake Griffin doing
Blake
big
Griffin is
things.
going off.
He
Let me
going
just say
off.
this. Blake Griffin has something to prove. They keep saying that he's like the light-skinned trash man of the league.
Looks like you jumped in a
Yeah,
thing
but
of
he-
Cheetos and
Yeah, they keep roasting.
You remember that Drake? You remember that Drake?
Yeah.
It's like waving his arms.
Hey, but Blake is stepping up, man. You know what's crazy though? A lot of the teams that we would not assume to actually do decent are doing
The
decent.
Clippers.
The Clippers are balling right now.
What is going on? Yeah, it's the
Have no
weirdest
clue.
world. It's a weird world.
No
right
clue. It's surprising when the Clippers will have a better record than the Golden State Warriors. Just want to put that out there.
One team that's shocking me real bad. It's sad to see. The Spurs.
Now. Yeah,
Like,
I think
this
Greg
is like
Popovich
some
should
dark
retire.
times for the Spurs. I think
Yeah.
like 10th or 12th, like rock bottom in the West.
Yeah.
They just beat the Lakers today.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Lakers beat them the other day, so that's
Yeah,
only fair.
it's a back-to-back. No, the Spurs. I don't know. Greg Popovich is like
Who's still in the Spurs?
He seems lost.
DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Rudy Gay. They have some
Pau
solid dudes.
Gasol's
Pau
injured.
Gasol's, yeah.
He's older.
He's old.
Yeah.
But
I
that
think
team,
they
that
should-
team has been old for the past 10, 15 years.
That's true. They've been old since.
Like everybody on their roster is 40.
I remember. I feel like I had seen Ginobili play like when I was 5.
For real. Yo, he just retired too.
Like literally, once he joined the team, like he started evolving.
The Spurs,
Right? He did. It's so true.
they're 13. Yeah, they're 12 and 14 right now, man. Like that's
That's not good for the Spurs.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I mean,
but hear this. So they're just under 500.
yeah.
And they're like at the very bottom of the West Coast, which still tells you.
No. The Suns are at the very bottom. They're 4 and 22.
No. But I'm saying with their
okay.
12 and 14 record,
Right.
being 3 slots away from the very bottom,
Mm-hmm.
that shows you West is still.
But that's still just
Dominant.
uncommonly bad
strong.
for Spurs.
Spurs.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Given the Spurs, yeah, that's like
They should be at least 8 seed.
Yeah.
You got DeMar DeRozan. It's not like they don't have star power over there that can ball.
Yeah, they got LaMarcus Aldridge. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just no defensive identity.
Yeah. But it takes a minute for teams to mesh.
Yeah.
So
True. Hopefully they'll do well. All right, so our boy Markelle Fultz.
go
I guess so. If he was officially diagnosed with some kind of nerve damage.
draft bust.
In his shoulder, yeah, and they're saying that's why he's had the trouble shooting. The image I always remember of him shooting is where like he's on the free throw line, and he's passing the ball between his hands, and just chugs it up to you guys.
I remember seeing.
Have you guys
that.
seen that?
Yeah,
No.
that's so weird.
Like, what was that all about?
Like his jump shot is awful, and he keeps blaming it on. Oh, I got nerve damage in my arm, bro. You can't be that bad. I just refuse. The number 1 draft pick. It's like, what did he do in college?
No, because he got the nerve damage. I think like in between his senior year and like his first year in the NBA, and apparently like that's like a serious damage. I guess it's some nerve that connects your spine to like your shoulder or through your shoulder blade, something like that. It can actually be really serious. So, from my understanding, he's gonna sit out for a significant amount of time.
Again, so back-to-back seasons, your number 1 draft pick has.
I wouldn't
done-
consider him as a bust though, because that's like injury related. What I would consider a bust is like people who stayed healthy but just flopped. Like
So like Melo.
no,
I would say Melo flop.
no, he's just on the decline. He's just getting old. Anthony Bennett,
Oh God.
bust.
All right, time out. No,
Yes.
that draft class was so weak. And
No,
look, I'm a UNLV guy, but that was a
no.
weak draft class, dude.
He's still a bust though.
He was
First overall.
Terrible.
I think, yeah, he probably shouldn't have been first, but that whole draft class was pretty weak.
Still,
No.
Still.
Bennett was the worst since
Where was he at the Cavaliers, right?
Kwame
Cleveland.
Brown.
yeah,
Y'all
he's
remember
drafted by
Kwame Brown?
Kwame,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Who doesn't remember?
Kwame
forget
There's
Brown.
a bonafide.
Bonafide scrub. Yo, that was he got replaced. Him, Kwame Brown, Greg Oden. Who else was a big disappointment?
Greg Oden, very true.
Oh God, Greg Oden was, and he looks like he's 50. And he looks like a monkey.
Looks like LeBron James'
He looks
dad,
like
man.
his-
He was
Yeah.
trying to be a dentist. How you gonna be a dentist with those big old hands?
He was trying to be a dentist? I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Oh.
from understood. Yeah, he was trying to be a dentist.
Punched your teeth out and fixed it.
Oh,
Man.
one thing that I know we didn't mention that we're to talk about for sports, but like, what's the guy who's in this in the NFL? He just got kicked off the team for domestic
Hunt.
violence.
Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
That
Kareem Hunt.
that video was disgusting.
That's
man.
bad.
I haven't
That
seen the
dude
video.
should totally be out. That guy should be
Yeah,
out.
that's bad.
He should be out of the league.
The girl dropped the N-word on him, right? Which obviously that was,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she dropped the N-word on
Was
him.
she white?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But still, I mean, you
I
don't
can
put
see
your
why you
hands
get
on
wild. Would we get wild out?
But like
riled
he
up.
would have kicked her while he pushed
that
her.
was the other. Yeah, so like I understand the initial, but like he went back and just
and
like
kicked
straight
her.
kicked her after
Yeah,
she
after
was
she was on the
down
ground.
like,
I'm
hard.
like, yo, and then he lied about it to the team, dog. So
That's all
when
on
they got
video.
to see the video, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you lied about this back a couple months. You're fired. And they yanked him off Madden 19 too. Like his player,
Are you serious?
Deleted. Like he's,
Man.
he's yo, if he
That
didn't save his
sucks.
money, yeah, it's a bad look for him.
But I'm glad you brought that up because I wasn't even aware of that. That obviously adds some context to it. So
Yeah, I mean,
Poor guy.
hopefully you're not out here just randomly punching women, even though you're not supposed to punch women.
no, I get it. Yeah.
But you know what? I think football just naturally just makes you aggressive like that.
Yeah.
You know, like with the whole Will Smith movie about
Yep.
what was the
Yep.
Concussion,
Concussion.
but what was the actual name of the
CTE.
CTE?
Yeah.
I don't know. Now that I have a kid and we're talking about him playing sports, and then, when he gets older, I don't think
I
I'll
wouldn't
ever
do
let him
football.
play football.
No.
No, that's the one sport I would never let him play.
If he's bringing in like 10 million a year.
No, but then the quality of life
I'm
afterwards, it's just
Yeah,
That's true.
Like everyone's, I think everybody's gonna have a degree of fun in their 20s, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, why? I mean, you're amplifying something you're already gonna have most likely, and then when you hit your 30s or 40s, I mean,
You're just declining. From
yeah, in some positions, like I remember one NFL player who's retired. He was saying that he hates waking up every morning, the pain that he feels, like in all his joints.
That's hard.
And he didn't have any, he wasn't like one of the linemen, constantly hitting heads together. But like the pain in all his in his shoulder, his elbow, his knees, like dude doesn't even want to wake up.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's just like you have basketball players who've been there for a long time, and they complain about joint pain. So you can only imagine running those kind of speeds and then running across another guy at that same exact speed, and you're both weighing 300 pounds.
It's gonna cause significant damage.
Yeah. Over and over again. Man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but hopefully they'll do well. All right, so music. Our boy, he's out.
Meek.
He's dropping. He actually already dropped one.
Yeah.
Meek Mill.
That
Chris, this your man,
championships.
right?
Yo, that
It's garbage.
championship-
But
Oh, God. Okay, nah.
It's
You
trash,
explain to me
but
before I even
what's
say
up?
anything. Why is that album trash to you?
nah, just Meek as a rapper is just.
No, okay.
Go on.
Let me put it this way. Meek isn't my
That
favorite
one
rapper.
track he had Jay on, Jay's verse was dope.
I mean, Rick Ross's verse is pretty
It
dope
was
too.
hard. The whole
That-
song.
But
was
but
hard.
my argument with that is, those two rappers went hard on that track, but
Meek didn't.
Meek didn't leave any impression on me.
What?
I can say the same thing. What's free?
Did you not?
Well, what's
okay,
free?
so we just.
What's
Okay.
free?
I want you- let's really sit and break this down for a second, right? So
What? Free.
It's that simple. What's free?
it really ain't that
I'm
simple
just
though.
kidding.
It really ain't that simple. Like y'all, I can understand some of the gripes with some of his earlier projects. I've listened back to some of the Dream Chasers mixtapes, and there are certain things that I don't appreciate about some of his earlier work. But now that he's gone through a little bit more, I think this would be one of his better bodies of work. Wins and Losses was the previous album to this, and that was a solid body of work. But I like this one because
We're not talking about that. We're talking about
I know.
this album.
But
I
this-
legit
let me-
first heard of Meek when Drake dissed him.
Oh my god.
That's how I learned about Meek.
I heard
Not
Meek
gonna
from
lie.
you guys.
So listen.
Right. Yeah,
listen,
anyway, go
listen,
on, Chris.
listen.
I'm
What I'm
sorry.
trying to say is this.
Put this thing in context.
Him going to jail this last time, and you see how everybody got behind him. That made this album great. 'Cause if
Kevin
you
Hart isn't
actually-
everybody, bro.
Okay.
No,
hold on.
guys, wait,
Is he
wait.
from Philly? Is Meek Mill
Yep.
from Philly? Okay. So the guy from the Philadelphia 76ers, I don't know if it's the owner or one of
The
the high
owner.
ups. Yeah. He was a total advocate for Meek
Yeah.
Mill during this
And
whole
the
time.
guy for the Patriots, Robert Kraft.
Yeah. This judge went way out of his way to
Like-
have him
Well,
incarcerated.
it was to make an example of him. That's what it was.
So-
Wasn't a dirty cop involved in that whole
Yes,
thing?
that's what I'm
Yes,
trying to.
yeah.
So look, if you this is
I'm-
the thing
okay,
I want you to do. So
I
re-listen
celebrate
to the
his
album.
But
Re-listen to the
okay,
album.
Look, I get the whole backstory, but because there's a backstory doesn't make an album great.
But if you
You
listen
could have
to
told
his,
that story better. It's actually a good story. You just
listen, man. If you
listen.
listen
Look,
to the album,
what I'm saying is I can listen to the album, and some of the tracks are pretty decent. But what I'm saying is it didn't leave any impression on me.
so again,
Let him finish.
only people that are surface Meek Mill fans will say that, or people that are not fans of his at all.
But I
Because
shouldn't
if you-
have to be a fan of his to appreciate his music.
Let Chris finish.
So if you
He has a
listen,
serious
if
thought
you
he wants
listen,
now.
if you listen to the projects that he has put out before, and you listen to this one now, and see how he's grown. He didn't sit and talk about watches, because that's the thing that they gripe about with Meek Mill. I'm sure y'all seen the memes. every other thing that Meek is saying is rolling on my wrist, rolling on my wrist. This album, he talks specifically about young black men being incarcerated, what it was like to be in prison, and how that is detrimental to the entire environment around them, and how people are actually products of their environment, and how black people take advantage of other black people when they should be empowering each other. If you listen to the music, like really listen, you understand. He talks about.
I understand there's a message in the music, but because there's a message doesn't mean it makes it great.
Okay.
So you're just not fond of his delivery.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm not. So if you're telling me I have to listen to his backstory, his back work, look, this isn't Star Wars. Okay, I'm not. I shouldn't have to watch Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 to understand 4, 5, and 6. I should just watch it to see it to appreciate it's a good movie, right? I might not understand everything that's going on, but I can appreciate the artwork behind it.
I think that's fair.
Meek Mill's album here, I shouldn't have to know the full backstory to completely appreciate the artwork.
Yeah, and I don't think rappers like have like a script like for each album. Like I know the Carter 1, the Carter 2, Carter 3. Like if you just like first listen to the Carter 3, like you have you know what's going on.
Mm.
You don't need the.
My point is like, well,
I understand your analogy.
Yeah, my point is maybe a bad choice of song, but in general, like most are like
a cop.
Oh my God!
Start orating, a story. It's just like a singular rap album.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay.
I'm not saying it was trash. I'm not saying it was trash.
Sorry, guys.
What I'm saying is it wasn't that great. It didn't leave me any impression. I listened through it once, and that's pretty much it.
Caruso is legitimately mad. He went from being like happy and laughing hysterically at the start of this to just disappointed.
I'm sorry that your favorite rapper isn't that great. Okay.
My favorite rapper is Tupac, but that's not for this podcast. We'll address that another day. But I just appreciated this body of work because it was weighted on heavily. He's supposed to be on track to sell 200K.
You're telling America right now that you appreciate mediocre work.
Oh my God! Here's the thing though. You may feel that way, but a lot of other people do not feel that way.
The only thing I really liked on the album was his intro, and that was it.
Okay. You know what? That's fine. Who was your favorite rapper again?
Was it a voicemail?
I don't have a favorite rapper.
I forgot.
Oh, okay.
I just appreciate rap.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Riff Raff.
Cardi B.
Right. And speaking of Cardi, you know what? That's speaking of. I'm not even going. We're going to just pretend he didn't say Cardi B. Speaking of Cardi B, let's talk about this Grammy stuff that I just feel like is just pure shenanigans. So
the Grammy choices. I'm not very familiar with what's going on, but Chris,
check this out, man. This is what's crazy to me. The Grammys, I feel like it's a swing or just it's about popularity or whatever the case may be. Did y'all see the category for best rap album of 2018?
Nope.
Who's in that category? Now, when I say it, I don't want y'all to act surprised. Well, not even act. I'm just gonna say it. So, rap albums of the year.
Yeah.
Travis Scott, Astroworld, Pusha T, Daytona, Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap.
That was good.
Mac Miller, Swimming, and Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy. So you tell him now.
Cardi B. Yep.
Now, here's the thing, right? So, 100% agree with Daytona, Pusha T. I 100% agree with that.
Was that really an album?
Yeah.
Was that really an album?
Whatever, man. That album got praised.
It's a good disc. Is that really an album though?
So we're gonna ignore that question. Go on.
Right.
Second, Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap. 100% agree with that.
That was
I
good.
bought that album. I bought the Pusha T album too. I'll accept both of those. Astroworld, I enjoyed that album, but do I think it needs to be nominated for best rap album of the year? Absolutely not.
I think they chose it because it had a very interesting twist to what rap is compared to what rap is now.
But I can even
there
accept.
was a whole lot of hype before it's released.
Right,
so
I can
it's
even
like
accept those three. I can accept those three. I do not accept Cardi B.
That was the best one.
I don't accept that. And I don't accept Mac Miller's album either. Now, not because of his tragic death, because obviously we that was a sad thing, but that was not his best body of work. And the fact that they have Mac Miller up there now because he's dead, and I feel like they're just using that as a ploy because the young man is
I can
dead
see
now.
that.
Because here's the thing, Mac Miller has put out some amazing bodies of work that got completely looked over,
Yes.
right?
Remember that On and On song?
Like-
That's the first time I ever got introduced to Mac Miller.
Mac Miller's album where he's sitting on front of the cover and he's naked at the chair. What's the sounds
Divine
of
Feminine?
No, that was garbage. The one before that, the good AM Mac Miller, where it's just his head and he's yelling, and then the one album where it's a red album cover and he's sitting with a wooden table and he's naked. Those were amazing bodies of work that got completely slept on. But this album, because he's dead, okay.
That's very funny choice of words.
I think it just brings more
Funny
hype
body.
to the.
Great body of
No,
work.
I think it just brings more hype to the nominations.
But see, that's the thing. So but even that is out of pocket. So we're gonna use a dead man and his body of work to bring more hype to the nominations. What?
Yeah.
That's tasteless.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I remember. I think it was the most recent interview that Eminem did with Sway after he released the.
You don't got the answers, Sway.
No, not Ye.
That's
Not Ye.
Kanye.
That's Ye. No, hear me out though, right? So
You
Eminem,
don't got the answers, Solomon.
I know. I got an explanation. No, so in the most recent interview that M had with Sway, this is after he released that diss track to MGK. There was a bit in there where Eminem was talking about how he was so outraged with the Grammys, like he does not care to be nominated or ever attend anymore because of all the people that were so commonly nominated who should have won but never did, and that they're just using those big names to bring a whole lot of hype and attention to the Grammy Award show in general, but the ones who usually win it are least deserving or actually never should be considered.
Well, it's
And
kind of like the
the
same thing
Grammys
as
just
like
use
the
that.
Grammy. It's kind of like the Oscars, right? The whole idea of
Yeah.
schmoozing, boozing the executives of that award show,
Yeah.
and whoever gets, I guess, the most bribes really is.
Well, they're not. I don't think the Grammys even accept bribes. They just use people who have a lot of name and hype just to bring more attention. But even though they know darn and well they will never give them that award, they will never give them that Grammy.
Just like they know they bet not give Cardi B the rap.
I hope they give Cardi B her album.
Look, bruh.
I think.
I think Kong is intentionally trying to make herself
I think Cardi was nominated just by default because you can't like ignore her fame as the most popular female rapper at the moment.
No,
Right?
That's okay, cool. So she's famous, and I actually like Cardi B, but there's no way that Cardi B's album should be in the same category as Pusha T's
But
Victory
it
Lap.
has to just because she's a female rapper. It has to, and like
Look,
there was
if
so
you,
much
if
fame
you
too.
can like Meek Mill's crappy album, I
No,
can like
no,
Cardi
because-
B's.
No, but the thing is
Wonderful
that
album.
Cardi B sticks out more is because she's a woman.
Okay.
I think her being a woman adds to her fame. Versus if she was a dude saying the same stuff, it wouldn't gain as much attention.
Well, I hope a guy isn't saying, okay.
Well, you saying it,
Fine.
so I mean,
Jeez.
but okay.
Anyway, that's our spiel on the Grammys. Your boy Gucci,
Hey,
what's up with him?
Gucci, look, it's something. There's a clip that I really want to just ask y'all how y'all feel about it, right? Because it's something that I was like, okay, it just crossed my mind today.
Well, how about you just tell the audience like a summary of what he was saying?
Well, I actually have that clip. Does anybody want to hear it?
Well, I'm trying to keep it family friendly. Does he say anything in there?
No,
Okay.
absolutely
Go.
not.
Do it.
Oh god.
So I want to ask y'all what y'all think of this.
Happy wife.
It's all about the money.
Straight up.
No, I'm serious.
I'm gonna send that to what? How so?
You know, we got two incomes. My wife is rich as hell.
I heard that.
But I feel like
So what was the question presented to him?
The question was, can you be happy if your wife and you are rich in a marriage? And his answer was, I wouldn't be happy if I wasn't rich in my marriage or just in a relationship period. So the question I want to ask us fellas is, do you feel that to be in a relationship, you need to be well off to be happy?
I think there's like a minimum. I think there's like a line where you should be financially to like maintain some level of happiness, and then beyond that, the money doesn't have the effect.
Okay, let me put it this way.
I know it's crazy from a single guy, but that's how I see it.
when the first year of marriage for me, I was broke as a joke, and I was perfectly happy. But I think if you are married and you have kids
Yeah,
and you're dead broke, I think that's a whole different story.
that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, is money the answer to your happiness? No, obviously not. I mean, growing up, my parents have always been very well off, and they knew how to like use that to their advantage and make their life happier than it already is, right? But then I've also met families who are wealthy beyond measure and then
Miserable.
just miserable.
Right. Yeah.
I think if anything, money can bring more problems and more stressors than what a broke family can really go through. Right? So, I don't know, that's just my
It's a
personal opinion.
50-50 split. I feel like money has its place,
Yeah.
and money can, though it can't buy happiness, there's things that money can afford for you to do that a broke person, you would be agitated if you couldn't do in a relationship.
But that's perspective, right? So, for a newly married couple who only has maybe, let's say, a couple $100 in their bank account, it's all about the experiences, right? So if you are happy with going to the movies for date night once every other week, and that's sufficient for you, all the power to you. But I think, I think naturally people want more in life, but I think it's all about perspective. Are you happy with what you have now versus do you need to be able to go on those fancy vacations? Like Amber and I still like I book like the cheapest motels when I go to like San Diego, for example.
Yeah.
I can afford maybe something a little bit more expensive, that's for sure. But maybe it's my own upbringing and I'm always thinking about finances. It's just for me it just makes sense to get. It's all about the experience for me. Going out to San Diego, being able to do this, or hey, you know what? Let's save a little bit more and we can go on a cruise or we can go on an all inclusive. But you have to be happy before the money to be happy with the money.
My thought on it is, I think there's a misnomer there because he's talking about being rich. I don't think necessarily being rich, because people define that differently, but I don't think being rich will make you happy in a marriage. I think having sufficient money and
Right.
at a minimum, and then above that, yeah, you can do some really nice things that you both can enjoy. And I think it's age based, right? Because when I was a teenager, when we were teenagers, if we liked a girl, I mean, I don't think anyone was pre-qualifying me for my income. Whereas now, I think if like one of you guys, if any of us are on the market, I mean, that's something now that they start looking at,
Right.
Like
or what's your potential?
Yeah.
I mean, at this age, it's still about what's your potential. I mean, maybe once we hit 40, then it's like, all right, dude,
Where are you at now?
what assets? What assets
what
do
are
you
you
have?
doing?
Are you
Yeah.
diversified? Okay.
Right, yeah.
So I kind of think it's somewhat age related, in a sense, and I don't think rich is the right word, but I think when you're able to afford certain things, that it can definitely add to your experience as a couple. Like traveling is one of those things. Being able to go on dates more often, because I mean those add up. I mean,
Yeah,
you
they
think
do.
about like even movies. I know when you were talking about them, like that's $30 just for two people.
True.
I mean,
And if you got kids,
That's not even food included.
that's what I was gonna say. That's not even food included. I mean, $30 doesn't sound like a lot, but once you start getting those paychecks after taxes, it's like, wow, every week we're doing this. This is kind of adding up. So anyway, I don't know where I was gonna finish with that, but I think it's age related, and I don't necessarily know that two people have to be rich. But I think money's a lot like steroids, because you know what they always say about steroids? They said steroids. They say it affects your personality, makes you more of what you already are. So if you're if you're a mean person or very self-interested, money's gonna just amplify that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think any of us could probably even see ourselves in that. Like, I'm a pretty happy guy. I was happy when I had my dad's Honda, like from the 90s. I was happy when I got a Hyundai. That was like 2011. So it didn't matter, what car or whatever you have or things. If you're generally happy and then you get money, you're probably still going to be happy.
Yeah. Well, now he's happy with his Ferrari.
That's
so.
yeah, dude. If I had a Ferrari, I wouldn't even talk. I just smile the whole show. Like one of those. I'm not gonna say it. One of those commercials y'all know about. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. All right, so in the past week, we had a very famous political figure pass, George H.W. Bush.
Bush Senior.
Bush Senior passed away. His funeral, I believe, was Friday? No, Wednesday?
I felt like he had like 5 of them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
A lot happened. I feel like there's a lot happened in just the I think the most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the little funny skit that was caught on camera between him and Michelle Obama.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was doing some research on it. I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but apparently when they go to these functions and they're with these former presidents, they're assigned seating. And it just happened to be Michelle Obama always sits next to George W. Bush. And I guess the joke was that he gave, I guess, a peppermint or something to his wife. And Michelle just asked, like, oh, can I have one too? But it happened to be these really, really old peppermints back when he was president. So it's like these 10-year-old, these peppermints are 10 years old, and he warned her, like, oh, well, these are old. So I guess it was caught on camera initially. It's not, the running joke is every time they go to these functions, he always gives her a piece of candy.
Oh, okay.
That makes
kinda,
more sense now. It's like, why did this dude say, here's a piece of candy, like, to this other man's wife? But now it makes sense.
Right. And without going into the politics of everything, I remember when he was president, the constant criticism he would get for being probably not the most intelligent person.
Yeah.
George Bush?
This is his dad.
No, Bush was president too.
No, I know, right? But I already talked. I'm sorry, I'm confused then.
Oh, he's
Well,
going off
I'm just talking about like
Oh,
because
okay.
it was his son that gave the eulogy speech and everything.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm just talking about that. So, but seeing him like actually give the speech, the eulogy speech for his father, he's a pretty eloquent guy. Like he can. He's a good public.
When he's not getting his shoe thrown at him.
Well, we're not in Iraq anymore. So. But it was a very touching speech.
His father was accused of groping women. I don't know if
Was
you
he
guys
really?
heard that.
Yeah, but that was towards like the end of his life. The guy is senile. He's not coherent half the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just odd, right?
Yeah, this is so. I don't know about like if this was accused, before he was so gravely ill, but in the past, like just in the past maybe year, allegations came out about him groping other women, and it's usually
When did the gropings occur?
when he was like wheelchair bound and he's not like coherent.
Oh, let that go.
And it's like, really, are we gonna stretch it that far? We're gonna try to accuse a dying man who doesn't even realize he's there right now.
Yeah, you probably don't even remember that. Come on.
Right. So.
Leave him alone. Side note, really random. Do you guys remember that Comedy Central show called Lil Bush?
That sounds familiar.
Sounds awesome.
No.
Whatever
Y'all
it
remember
is,
that?
I gotta watch
Oh,
that.
God, it's hilarious.
Lil Bush.
Okay.
Is
You
it
know
about
what?
the Bush family?
Bush in particular. Like, it was a Comedy Central show, cartoon. It was hilarious.
Lil Bush. I'm about to
Lil
look
Bush.
it up.
I remember I was in a philosophy class.
It was only one season, but it was actually
Yeah, be careful how you search it.
hilarious.
I remember taking a philosophy class. The professor made us look up Bushism. Bushisms.
Next to
Bushism.
Taoism. Oh,
Yeah.
Bushism, like little sayings. Oh, okay. What's your favorite Bushism?
It's Lil Bush.
Yes.
I don't know. It was so long ago.
Look at the cartoon. Look at him, man. Wow. That is it. I actually remember that.
I remember
It was
this. Let me see. I just want to take a look.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good show. It was funny. I can't
Oh, and
front.
then Dick Cheney.
Yeah. Dick Cheney.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen when a former president has passed away, where the post office has been closed down.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time.
Post
I've seen
office is closed. The Federal Reserve was closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It was
know.
kind of normal.
Is it? I think this is like the
think
first
so.
time I've ever seen like a president actually declare for that to be taken, to be observed.
Who was the last one that died before him?
Oh, man.
That was recent.
I don't know. Probably Reagan, right? No.
Is it
He
Reagan?
died a long time ago.
Who would it
There's
have been?
somebody more recent that passed.
More recent than Reagan?
Yeah.
It couldn't have been. Because it was Reagan.
Isn't Jimmy Carter still alive?
Jimmy Carter's still
He is.
alive.
Oh
Still
man.
And yeah, he was in his.
He's old. He's
So he was before Reagan.
Yeah.
So Reagan was 80 to
He
88.
was before Bush.
Yeah. So Reagan was 80 to 88. 89 to 92 was Bush Sr. 92 to 2000 is Bill Clinton. Then his son, 2000 to 2008, was George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Then 08-16 was Obama. So it couldn't.
I'm sure there was another president that died like in between Reagan and Bush. I forgot who. Crystal, you gotta look this up, man.
I know his wife passed away, and that's probably who I was
Before
thinking
him,
of.
yeah. No, but there was another president.
No, after. No, I'm talking about Nancy Reagan.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Nancy Reagan? You
brought her up.
Crystal's just like looking at me.
Oh,
with
we're
disappointment. He's
trying to
like,
figure out who the last person. I don't know.
What president was who passed away before Bush?
July 23rd, 1964.
That was the last one that passed away?
No.
No, that's when Arby's was founded.
Oh, dude. They're just going to spit out a random date.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
Wait. Before we move on.
Good Lord.
I remember. When I was watching
Arby's, just sponsor us already, dude. Every
that.
show.
I know.
How is Arby's still around?
We have 100 viewers.
Every time I see
Their
it's
sandwiches are
empty.
amazing.
It's always empty when I go past this place.
No, I always see a big line when I go right
It's
past
like
by.
what do you
little
call it?
hat
It's
signs,
like Radio
like
Shack.
flickering.
Like how is Radio Shack still around? It's like the Radio Shack
still
of
around?
No, they're not.
There's one. No,
There's
still
a few
around.
still around.
What?
Yeah.
There's radio. Yeah, they're like
They've been through bankruptcy like 3
Arby's
times.
is like the
Now
Radio
they're
Shack
done.
of sandwiches.
No, it's
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Arby's disregard Solomon.
Messing up our brand deals here, Solomon.
I would not sign off on that. Okay.
You kicked off the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, get another engineer.
bruh.
We got to push a T to engineer our stuff.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry, bruh.
All right.
No, wait. I want to talk about this real quick. So,
Why are we talking about
Okay.
no,
go
we're
ahead.
talking about Arby's. So, I was trying to say that when that whole eulogy was going on, they kept pandering back to Jeb Bush,
my boy Jeb Bush?
and then it would go back to Donald Trump, and I kept remembering
dude,
the
that
whole
was
election.
awesome.
Man, like when I recall everything that's going on, it feels like if Donald Trump, if I was running for president, that would be who I am. Like he's the biggest troll of all time. He bought Jeb Bush's domain name because it was expired and someone on the team forgot to renew.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So whenever
He's like the 50 Cent to
That's
Jeb
heavy.
Bush's
Right.
job.
That's
so
awesome.
whenever someone went to jebbush.org or whatever, it would revert back to Donald Trump's website.
That's classic, dude. Dude, you know that intern got fired.
know.
You're fired. You're
I
fired.
think at that point, Jeb was like, all right, it's over. Can you imagine? Like, whoever found that out on Trump's team, you know he got a cabinet
It's the
seat.
Russians. It's the Russians.
Wow.
I need some Sprite. That's hilarious.
That is ultimate troll stuff right there. Jeez. Okay, well let's let that go. So,
But no, I gotta say something.
okay.
So those Republican National Convention debates were the funniest things I'd ever seen.
Oh man.
When I remember the one when him and Donald Trump, Jeb Bush and Donald Trump were going at it, and Jeb Bush was just saying, you know, oh, how are you gonna be tough? You're not gonna be tough on this country. He's like, yeah, Jeb, when I look at you, you're real tough. You're real tough. Just like, I'm dying. I'm like watching this. I'm literally eating popcorn watching these debates.
I know it was the most irritating.
It was.
And then him and Marco Rubio going back and forth, and he had to throw his hands up.
Yeah.
These aren't so small, are they?
It's like, this is America.
Didn't Trump make fun of some kid with a disability once?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he did.
The reporter. Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was making fun of a reporter with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
Yo, this is what I understand.
That's our president, guys.
He won.
Yeah. By a lot.
All of that.
By a
not
lot.
He won.
Electoral
bro.
college,
It-
yeah.
It wasn't a landslide.
The electoral college?
Yeah, it wasn't a landslide.
The general public, no, but the electoral college was a
wasn't a
landslide.
It wasn't a landslide.
No. It wasn't.
He did win by a maybe a decent majority, but it wasn't a
He
landslide.
stayed ahead the entire time. If you
Well, yeah. I
kinda
mean,
watched it.
obviously you had to stay ahead to win.
No, the entire time. Like he never, like
But
he
that
had,
doesn't- that
he had a
doesn't-
huge lead the entire time. Like,
I wouldn't say. All right. First of all, I wouldn't say he had a huge lead the entire time. he had a lead because of he won certain key battleground states.
I guess. Okay. Thanks for correcting my understanding then.
Well, no, I mean, you're right. That's why he won. He got more electoral college votes, but
Yeah.
he lost in the general, like from the general population, right? Most voted for Hillary, but whatever.
Man, I remember I used to work in San Francisco, and I used to travel there every month. And San Francisco is like the most liberal city you'll ever go to. I remember flying up there when the election went down. I'd never seen a city so glum before. Like taking the BART and subway.
I remember seeing
everyone was so
videos.
depressed.
People were crying.
Yeah. I remember going to Starbucks. There were a few women there just bawling.
Really?
Just bawling.
See, that's weird to
oh
me.
man,
That's
it was
weird.
crazy. And then of course I try not to talk politics, but I remember one of my Uber drivers brought it up, and I even just mentioned like, well, I can kind of see why people went for Trump. He refused to talk to me for the rest of the ride.
Wow.
Oh, really?
That's how liberal it is over there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess that happens. So off that, so the stock market has been on a bit of a decline. Care to lighten us a bit more, Doug Judy?
To put it lightly.
Yeah,
But you know what? Great time to buy.
Yeah,
True.
I guess that's a
plus.
plus side.
I mean, Warren Buffett is buying like crazy Apple stocks right now.
Yeah.
So-
It could be a regression. Maybe we're heading into like a little bit of a bear market. Yeah. Probably not anything as severe as like 08.
Right.
Hope not.
But yeah, we hope, right? I mean, a lot of the economic signs don't show that because we still have unemployment super low and many other things going on. But we'll wait and see. And I think we're going to talk later about, or we could just talk about now those finance apps.
Oh yeah, so there's actually this one app that Doug, Judy, and I have been lightly messing with. It's called, one of them is the Robinhood app.
Yeah.
So what it is, it's pretty common. There's a lot of trading apps out there, but what's really neat about this app is that there's no fees associated with any
Trades.
that you make.
But it's a good starter app if you're looking to get into the stock market.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go pretty hardcore into it, I don't think it has like real time capabilities, right?
I don't know. So I
Well,
think
it is real time, but there are limits on how much you can
Purchase and
all
sell.
these finance apps have their pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about earlier, like Robinhood, and they all have like these little incentives to get you to sign up and to get others to sign up. So for instance, like Robinhood, if you sign up, you get a free stock. So they have several stocks that they have purchased.
That's why I sent you two
And-
guys, and you never jumped on.
Yeah, and when
Oh.
and so it's like free money. You get like just for signing up, you get a free stock, right? So that's what incentivizes people to sign up. The nice thing is that there's no trading fees. So like with Schwab, Fidelity, all those
E-Trade,
big ones.
all that.
Every time you make a trade, you're gonna pay at least $5 or $7 to do it. Whether you're trading $100 or $20,000.
And that can be a big.
Yes, if it's $100, that's 7% of your
Yeah.
transaction. So you're only investing actually $93. And if the stock market generally increases by 7% a year, you're gonna have to wait a full year
Right,
before you even break even again. So and that's where I was going. So Robinhood's nice because they don't have any trading fees, but what they do to make their money is the cash that you have in your account. Because you'll need cash to actually buy the stock, and you'll probably keep a little bit spare in there. They basically invest that or earn interest from that. They don't pay you interest where the other brokerages pay you interest and so forth. So if you're starting out, like you were saying, it's probably one of the better ones. Acorns is another one, but then again, that one goes back to
Like
that.
ETFs and mutual funds and things like that, right?
So how Acorns does is like they'll give you $5 if you sign up.
Right.
And if you link it to your debit card, like, have you ever heard the keep the change on Bank of America? Like, if you spend like $3.95, they'll put 5 cents to your savings. Instead, like if you link it to your debit, they'll put 5 cents in your Acorns account.
Right.
So if you only have like $5 of the keep the change type thing that gets transferred in there, you have to pay $1 a month to be part of Acorns.
Unless you're a student, then it's free, up to $5,000.
Yeah. So I mean.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like it all comes down to how much you're gonna have in there, and if you have over $5,000, I think Betterment's the way to go because they only charge you a 0.25%. Most companies charge 1% if they're managing your money, so it's actually I think a really good deal. Anyway, I think it's neat because it's again like our generation kind of involved in it because a lot of people I've talked to kind of shied away from, being interested in the market, but now it's kind of, I don't want to say social, but it makes it put on autopilot, and I think most millennials like us kind of like that.
I use it. I remember.
Yeah, I have Robinhood now.
And
I'll get Betterment.
I used Acorns, and then I used Betterment as well. But for a reason, I stopped Betterment. I used Acorns, and I forgot about it. I forgot about it for I think a good 8 months.
Ooh.
And then I just.
So how much you make on that?
Just investing my spare change. I think it went up. It didn't increase by a lot. I think in that 8 month span,
spare change.
It only increased by I think 1.2%. So I made maybe $8.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was nice knowing because even if you don't consider the fact I didn't get a lot in returns, just the fact that it was saving my money without me realizing, it was kind of nice knowing that I had almost $1,000 signed up in there.
There's another app I didn't mention earlier. It's called Twine.
What's Twine?
I haven't heard of that.
So it's kind of similar to Acorns, but it's considered one of those online savings accounts where they have general higher interests than a traditional brick and mortar banks. So lately I've been using it.
What interest rate do they give you?
1%.
It's 1.25, I think, something like that.
So what is a savings checking account and then
strictly a savings?
Yeah. I'll tell you the best savings that I found yet is Marcus, which is owned by Goldman Sachs. There's no minimum dollar to open an account, and they pay you 2.05%. And every time the Fed increases the rate, they increase it. So
really,
yeah, and it's FDIC insured. So
really?
Even if the bank collapses,
because I don't think Acorns is it?
No.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, if you have millions of dollars, you're still losing all that. You're only getting $250,000 back. But.
Yeah,
true.
So the FDIC insurance covers up to $250,000, but you're getting 2.05%, basically on no risk. And right now the stock market's been going down, so it's been a nice hedge. And there's no minimum account. It's not like you have to have 10 grand saved up or anything like that. You could put in $1.
With the stock market going down, do you feel like
it's a buyer's market right now?
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Would you say that even when it comes to the housing market, or is it just literally because you said it's not looking like it's 2008?
So it's funny. Really it's funny because some of the markets are slowing down already in housing. Vegas is actually one that's not slowing down.
It's still going up.
Yeah, and we have some unique things going on. I mean, we're getting a Raider Stadium, and Resorts World is being built. I mean, these are huge projects that are driving people from other states into this state, and they're going to open a Google data center now in Henderson.
Yeah, actually over around here.
Yes,
so it goes.
I mean,
they're going to hire I think 50 people in the next 5 years.
I mean, so Vegas is kind of an outlier, but yeah, housing prices have dipped, not substantially, but
housing prices in Vegas have went up.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But with that being said, once the market starts to correct itself, it could be more severe here as well.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Because Vegas tends to get hit hard.
So and there's two things that are important about the housing market. So one is the price of the house itself, and then the other are long-term interest rates. Because even if a house is expensive, if the interest rate's really low, when you get a loan, you could probably still afford the house. So if you have a house that is cheap or doesn't really go up a lot, if the interest rate goes up, then it's the same thing. I mean, you're having a higher payment. So right now it's been kind of bad. It's been the worst of both worlds because interest rates have gone up. It's starting to change a little bit because housings are dipping and long-term interest rates kind of dipped a little bit, but still, it's it's making even starter homes kind of unaffordable.
Yeah.
I mean, starter homes should be in the price range, at least in Vegas, between $150 and $200, and now they're kind of escalated up to $250 to the low $300s. And at the interest rates right now, it's just not really I mean, it doesn't quite.
I think when I was looking at interest rates, it went up to almost 4% now for like the best interest rate you can get. So
Dang, that's pretty good.
that's pretty high compared to what it was just like maybe 8 months ago.
No, I mean, I'll tell you,
Because through my teacher grant, we automatically get locked into like one of the lowest interest rates that you can get.
that's why. Yeah, I was gonna say
So
that makes a lot more sense.
So I'm talking to teachers who locked their house down for like 3%, 2.99.
Yeah.
But now, considering that whole percentage jump, it's a lot of money for.
Yep, it adds up.
On top of that, if you can't put a 20, like at least 15 to 20, you're looking at the PMI.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Man.
No love on these streets, America.
No, it's not. I keep kicking myself like, man, I should have bought like 3 or 4 years ago. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that some of it's timing. Like, I know a guy who bought his house in 2011, and he owns it free and clear now.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't make that much money.
We got like a foreclosure option.
He got it for like $60,000, and it's worth like 300 something thousand. You know.
There's quite a few people I know who did that. They're just buying houses left and right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what like was it? Hedge funds were coming into Vegas,
snatching
and
everything,
just snatching everything up on the foreclosure auctions because they're going for like 50, 60 grand at a time when they were originally worth $300,000, $400,000.
Yeah.
That's why the real estate market now, like the rental properties, a lot of it are just through hedge funds, Chinese investors, European investors.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard
Crazy
time
to
to
see
be alive.
how things have changed.
I'm just gonna be a squatter.
What's crazy? No. And I'm not even gonna go deep into that. But do you know that has become a thing?
Yeah.
As of late, squatting has become a thing, and
I
think it's been a thing for a while now.
Well, yes, it is. But there are now people that are like looking up the squatters' laws that are for here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like,
and a lot of times the laws favors the squatters.
Mm-hmm.
So I have something to tell you, Dave. I'm squatting your house.
You're welcome. You're welcome to squat in this house.
There's good Wi-Fi here. Why not?
I mean, Doug Judy.
Oh shoot! I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we got it.
That's his twin brother.
Two things to fix.
Okay, let's move on, shall we? Okay, so the CFO of Huawei.
No.
Huawei?
Huawei, bro.
Huawei? I don't know how to say
my
that.
God.
Okay, so
Sounds like you're trying to say hoorah.
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 CFO,
Huawei.
hoorah. Okay, so how do you pronounce it again?
Huawei.
Okay, so the CFO of Huawei.
Hooray!
Yes.
What?
Big Chinese telecom.
They do a little bit of everything, but that's the
Yeah,
one.
I know they
made.
make a lot of phones that they're blowing up lately.
Yeah,
So-
I think the world market they're like number 3 when it comes to like distribution of smartphones.
Really? I didn't know. I didn't realize that. Wow.
They're gunning for the second spot.
Who's up top? Samsung?
I think the top right now is iPhones or Apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I don't know. All right.
So
Doing big things.
The backstory here is basically that through a company, an affiliate of Huawei, this affiliate was doing business with Iran, which is a sanctioned country, meaning that the U.S. allows limited or no, or there's restrictions in having any sort of trade with Iran. Anyway, so it appears that they violated that through this affiliate, but they also didn't disclose the relationship between Huawei and the affiliate company to banks, which is tantamount to bank fraud. So these charges have been kind of mounting up, and they've been, lingering. So and most people kind of think that she was aware of the charges, and that's why she kept away from the U.S. So, yeah.
Okay, interesting. So
she was detained in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
well, the interesting thing is there's not a lot of information that's being released on what's going on. So
Yeah.
the Canadian government isn't really releasing why extradition is taking place right now, and then I think Huawei representatives are just saying that this is an unjustified arrest. They expect immediate release. Yada yada yada. But it's gonna be interesting once she's actually on American soil.
And this all plays into trade war fears.
right.
Because it's a large Chinese company, and just a lot of speculation if they're gonna kind of use this detainment as an arsenal for negotiations, or if the U.S. is gonna use it as.
Well, the United States has been gunning for Huawei for a long time.
Yeah.
They they've been incentivizing a lot of countries to kind of just push out Huawei out of their countries, because they've been pretty much expressing the idea that Huawei is taking part in corporate espionage, the whole. I don't know the exact details of what's going on with their phones, but the whole idea of like it can be bugged or sub-quality parts are being used. That's very questionable.
That brings up another good point.
Yeah.
How awesome Apple is. Like I've never seen an Apple product get hacked.
Oh.
All right, hold on. I'm like saying, time out, dude. If you ever install like a Windows computer, like from day one, you're getting blown up. Like you have 3,000 viruses.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, do you ever have those pop-ups like McAfee needs to protect this iPhone, or else you're gonna have the
hackers don't use that Apple products.
Well, okay, think about this. The U.S. government couldn't even hack into the iPhone.
Yeah.
They could.
You're
talking about that one iPhone the FBI tried to force?
Right, with
iPhones
the terrorists
to break
over,
in?
I think in Pasadena.
Right.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, they could have hacked into that phone. They were just trying to, I guess, coerce Apple to doing it to make an example out of them. Well,
now they're finding out that NSA finally came out with a backdoor to it, but I think Apple shut that down very quickly.
I think the FBI was trying to just make an example out of Apple to let it be known that if there's an investigation, most companies, you have to comply with us. Even though I'm pretty sure the FBI was more than capable of getting whatever info is in that iPhone.
I don't think so.
Because I think they're capable.
That case has been closed with the phone never being opened up.
You sure?
I think so.
It was never opened?
Apple refused. So if it was paramount to the investigation, I'm sure that if they were really able to do it, they would have done it.
I thought they got into that phone.
I think they might have got into. I don't remember the.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sure they just didn't want to make it public because then that would scare everybody else. Like, oh, they guys, FBI can get into our phones.
But I just gotta say, as a guy that has an Apple iPhone and then like a Windows computer, there's a huge difference every day. Like whenever I turn that thing on, I get notified.
Well,
like you have.
What
8,
firewall are you using?
Huh?
What firewall are you using?
I don't know, some free one.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Look, I don't have to pay for a firewall on here, do I? Do I have to?
Well, it's because they don't tell you.
Right? Just put the thing in the computer already. I don't want to have to right after I buy it. You need to subscribe to McAfee for $300 a month.
Well, don't use McAfee. That's
I don't want to use McAfee. I don't want to use any of them.
You want to use them? Don't lie.
No, I don't. What are you talking about, man?
I think the CEO of McAfee got into some legal trouble a few years ago.
That guy?
Yeah.
That dude is crazy.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the video?
Yeah, isn't he like on an island somewhere
He's
by
on
himself?
an island, yeah.
Yeah, he went loco.
And he was like running for like libertarian. That guy's crazy. What are you bringing him into this?
So why are you using the guy? Why are you using the app that the guy created?
I'm not using it. I'm saying that's the one that notifies
Well, that's even worse. I'm not even using anything. I don't know why, but Richard Bronson came into my head when I was thinking.
Just islands. Is that what it is? Wow. Anyway, so we're about over time right now.
All right, well, let's cut it out.
But
we're way off topic. Didn't even get to talk about toes.
Yeah, we'll probably save. We'll save the toes conversation.
To be continued, America.
All right, just leave America on a cliff. Just a little cliffhanger.
Little nail biter.
Chris loves
Chris likes big.
Quit playing with me. Tekashi 6ix9ine has been locked up for racketeering charges. We will talk about that soon.
Chris has been locked up for loving toes.
All right,
America.
Again, this is the North Strix Radio, and we're here with Chriso, who likes toes,
and Kong,
and
Don't you Godzilla.
Are you saying Godzilla?
No.
Oh,
being racist to Japanese people.
We just want to say we appreciate everybody that listens to the podcast.
Okay, you know what scene I'm talking about? The
We'll
opening
be
scene
back
of
next
Godzilla?
month.
yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next month. Oh, before we quit, was there any shout outs you guys wanted to give out before we close it up?
Shout out to Arby's.
Okay. Any other shout outs?
Arby's.
Yeah. Okay.
No shout outs.
No shout outs today.
Nope.
All right.
So I gave 2 back to back.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining in. Until next time, we hope you all have a good evening and good night.